Joker. And as your boy Joker, we out here and we in there like it is swimwear. Inviting some people to the party. Hopefully they will join. See if there are any actually cool people. I'll invite him just cuz, him just cuz, him just cuz. Hopefully they join. Other than that, it's time for me to get bodied. One of them said, no, fuck you. So, we'll start there. I've been playing a lot of Soul recently, and I like Soul, but kind of want to play a different character. Excuse the background noise, my brother's being dumb. Ah, Milia. We'll beat up on Jam. Even though I love Jam. Jam's awesome. It's my first day of winter break, so I still got work I gotta catch up on, so I'm not gonna be streaming every single day. Maybe. Probably. Possibly. Not really. Possibly. I don't know. This launches, right? Yeah, okay. So, something I love about Milia is she has 2 air dashes. Right? So let's say I just jump and jump again. I can double jump. Now if I'm any other character... Okay, thing. That's not what I did. Stop. Okay. Basically, if I double jump, I can't air dash. It's one or the other, right? I jump, air dash, or I double jump, and I can't air dash, right? Milia is different, because she has 2 air dashes, right? Now she can't double jump, then double air dash, right? But she can air dash, right? So that's something I love about Milia. Her movement, so beautiful. I love it. Also, her Oki's pretty easy. Even though that's probably not how I'm supposed to do it. That's probably it right there. But basically, bop, 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 and then mid-screen, bop, bop, bop. Now that's a cross-up, right? Because the attack stays here even after I jump, right? So I go like that, jump over them, they have to block me this way. Cross-up. And then with that cross-up I could do boom or boom, right? So, well, not like that, but boom, boom, bop, right? Boom, boom. The overhead is a little weird to do, because I have to do it a little earlier. Maybe I should be using a different one. Yeah, see, because it's not really hitting. Huh. Maybe that's different. Maybe it'll work on a different character. But for the most part, I have to. Nah, there we go. I was just doing it too late. There we go. And then I can also just do that, right? Okie. So from air combos, I end like that. Well. Alright, stay, stop. No, I need a new controller. New controller. Need it. Why? 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 Stop it. No. Come on, thing. I think my thing's just legitimately broken. I wonder if it, hold on 1 second. I gotta check something. One second. Checking something. Where do I go to controller settings? I'm trying to literally turn off my stick, or just give my all my stick inputs to my D-pad. That is possible, right? I know you can change things like that. Maybe it's in accessibility. Button assignments. Here we go. Is it so I can only turn that to right stick? Okay, so it's working. I'm using my right stick to do all this, right? Alright, so this is gonna work only for the time being, right? But basically, I kind of turned off my left stick, right? Or it doesn't send inputs in a readable manner right now. Alright, so now we can actually play. Also, she has this command dash. It's awesome. Is this an actual overhead? I think that's an actual overhead. Right? 1 second. Block everything, crouching, disable block switching. Yeah, that's an actual overhead. The second hit of this is an overhead. and this is an overhead. Alright, good to know. Alright, that's good to know. Huh. Okay. I'm confused. Okay. Slightly confused. Oh, okay, so the kunai does give hard knockdown. The kunai gives hard knockdown after a full combo, but not the little rotating thing. Yeah, so that doesn't give full hard knockdown after combo, right? But that does. And then as soon as I land, go into Oki. Core circle back to throw the kunai. Oki. Let's go. Alright, so that is not a lot of damage though. I think that's one of Millia's weaknesses. She doesn't do a lot of damage. And then after that, like, I have to pick up my is that legitimate low? That is a legitimate low. Okay. So this, and this. They're lows. So she has 3 lows. Well, technically 2 lows. Wait, so 2S doesn't link into 2D. But 2H links into 2D. That's great for a block string, but it's gonna make me whiff my combos. Cause this move launches, right? Which is awesome for combos. And if we do it from over here... Wait, that doesn't reach? Okay, so I gotta run up and do it. I don't know if that was Oki. I don't think that's Oki. Yeah, I think the computer blocks it if it's actually Oki. I think, right? Yeah, if it's actually Oki, the computer blocks it. So I'm not doing this correctly. How do I combo off of this? There's got to be something I can link from that, right? That overhead kind of doesn't do nothing if it doesn't link, does it? Oh, wait, hold up, hold up. I can confirm. Okay, so it's good after Oki, right? Because if the computer blocks low, then I can get the confirm, right? So if the overhead actually hits, then I get the confirm because of the Oki. That would have been... I feel like that should have been Oki. I feel like it. I wonder when I would use this. Like, I doubt I'd use it after the, Like, if this... Hold on. If this isn't Oking, then I doubt this is Oking. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Oki. And then we lead back in the same thing. Alright, interesting. And then I need to get that. Alright. So that's Milia. Let's play Soul. Because I actually almost know how to play that character. Well, not even really. I know the character. I don't know the game, so I suck. Alright. And where was my Fafnir? Fafnir? Hello, Derek Tom. What's up? Okay. I think it's just different on Jam. Because this works on... The way I'm doing it here, that works on Kai. Maybe I just gotta do this character. Play this game sometimes, it's pretty fun. Whenever somebody says it like that, that means they play this game all the time and they're actually competitive. That's how it works. Happens. But yeah, I love this game. I want to be good at it, but kind of suck. Yeah, I'm doing that way too early. I think that might have been it there. Yeah, real close. Okay, that's not what I did. Safe jumps. Even though that was most definitely not a safe jump. Though I don't know if I have to even bother with a safe jump on Jam, because she doesn't have, like, a legitimate Oki. Not Oki, wake up, not to my knowledge. So I could just go in and meter her ass every time. Guilty Gear, you happy? I know, man. I love Guilty Gear. Find some good teachers. I have like one person that I got maybe like one lesson from, but for the most part, everybody I've talked to, as far as this game is concerned, has kind of been a dick, right? And I'm not saying that's the game's fault, right? But the online community, from what I've experienced, for the most part, is pretty toxic. So I think I have to run up with that. No? Or maybe I ran too much. Or just, you know. Wow. No, that doesn't work on Jam. Jam wakes up too quick. Alright. Dust loops on Jam are weird. It's like I have to delay the whole thing even more. Who's my main? The character I'm trying to learn the game with is Soul, right? I'm trying to learn the game with Soul, right? I'm looking into maining Baiken, because I really like her. I just love everything about her design. She looks cool. Her combos are really cool looking. She's thick. That's the thing. So I really like Baiken. If Baiken doesn't work out, then I played a little bit of Milia earlier, and I really liked her movement, so that was cool. And, you know, I'm not opposed to sticking with Soul. Answer was another character I was kind of interested in, but for right now, I'm really just trying to stick with Soul until I actually understand everything I'm trying to do. Yeah, that combo's weird on Jam. Answer. Mr. Business, the business ninja, whose business is always busy because he's the business ninja, and he takes care of his business like a boss because he's the business ninja. Okay, maybe I'm just doing Fafnir too early. You're trying to main Baiken or Johnny? Of course you try to main Johnny, bro. Of course you tried to main the Evo character. I used to play Leo a little bit, but I didn't really feel as though I was legitimately beating my opponent. Right? Like, cause I know Leo is quote unquote like low tier, and that's because his offense is not, you know, he doesn't have a whole lot of really extravagant, or let me rephrase that. He's not really unpredictable with how he's going to aggress, but he just puts you in like 50-50 over and over and over again until you die and he hits like a truck, right? So Leo is a great beginner character, and I like Leo. I don't really like charge inputs, so I didn't really see myself sticking with the character long term. But I did like Leo. Leo was a cool character. He was the king. And then I think I could have meaty gunflamed right there if I knew he was gonna wake up. Meaty gunflame, maybe YRC it, go up for a grab, or maybe just jump up in case he did grab. Just jump. You're trying to main Slayer? Slayer was also a character I really found really interesting. Let me actually play a little bit Slayer. Maybe you can show me some stuff with Slayer that I'll find really cool. Because I know, all I really know is his Oki and some of the combos. And I saw a high level Slayer and I'm like, oh my god, this character is sick. Kind of like with every character in this game. Hold up, let's just appreciate the two people with suits. These suits are sick. I don't know what it is, but fighting game characters with suits on look sick as fuck. Alright, anyway. So, that's his Oki, pretty much. Womp whoop. And then he could go either wop, bop, wop. Okay, I'm delaying that way too much. He could do that for the overhead. I don't know why it burst, but, like that for overhead. Or... like that for low. Right? And it's pretty inconspicuous for the most part. Because the second hit comes out slow anyway, so they should come out on almost the same frame if I'm not mistaken. Know any Slayer players that can help you? Not really. I know people who play Slayer, but they're not really that good with Slayer. And I know I'm not necessarily in a position to say whether someone's good or not, but when you've seen like high level play, like you can tell. Like when someone is like only, okay, so this guy is better than me, but he's not amazing. What about Leo? Well, yeah, I do know someone who could teach you with Leo, but again, it's kind of like, Leo's one of those characters that's really not hard to figure out. I can teach you Leo, right? I could teach you Leo right now. We can go into Leo right now. Because Leo is pretty straightforward. Of course, there's some more technical stuff that you'll learn as you play the game more. But Leo is a really straightforward character, right? So Leo, right? Look, he's got some pretty decent buttons, right? He's got a ton of range, right? So like at round start, boom, you could do stuff like that, right? This will get you counter hit. And if you get counter hit, it'll make you moves. It'll make you move. It'll allow this move to connect, right? So let's turn on counter hit real quick. Bop. Well, not all the time, but like that, right? Basically, at round start, you land this move or you land this move. You can get a combo, right? What's up, Soy? I'm teaching this stream how to play Leo, but so the way, all right, let's turn off counter here real quick. So he's got some pretty decent range off his far slash and his heavy slash, right? Something special about his I call them sword normals, but some of his slash and heavy slash is that if you press P, you can block, right? So that's a good way to bait bursts. So let's say, for example, let's turn on Psych Burst 2 hits, right? Bop, bop. Well, no, I gotta hit the computer. Well, okay. Boom, block the burst, right? So if you read burst, you get burst and then you get to combo afterward. Alright? So that's something very interesting. Another thing, one of Leo's main things is one of his main important things, right? One of his most important moves are his Rekka, which is his main combo, right? And this is your Oki. And this is a back turn stance. His back turn stance is like one of the most fundamental aspects of his gameplay. You're not going to be in back turn stance the entire match because you cannot block right here. In this situation, you cannot block. But here, you have some of the best mix-ups in the game, I feel like, right? Because in back turn stance, if you dash towards your opponent, you'll cross up, right? You don't just... If you walk, yeah, you'll stay same side, but if you dash, you go to the other side. So you could cross up, right? And he's got a super fast low. right? So this is good. And it loops back into itself like a vortex, right? Also, this pressing S in back turn stance is really good. This move is fast as fuck for absolutely no reason. It's really, really good. You'll get counter hit a whole bunch of times like this. More often, you'll get counter hit more often off of off of back turn stance S than you will off of back turn stance K. It's just a thing. I don't know why it is, but it's a thing. Also, this has some really good range. You have your overhead here, which is way harder to block than it looks. If you're used to it, you can react. It is definitely reactable, but this is faster than it looks. This is hard to block online, right? So that's just something about Leo. Also, he has a charge character, which is why I didn't really see myself sticking with him main turn, because I don't really like charge inputs. But he has this projectile, and what's cool about his projectiles is they literally beat all other projectiles from what I've seen, right? If let's say, for example, let's actually demonstrate this. Kai is a great way to show this. Because Kai has similar projectiles. He has a one hit, and then he has a large multi-hitting one. And then I'm like 90% sure Leo's projectiles go through his, right? So, Kai has this projectile right here, right? Pretty standard projectile. So, we set Kai to do it. Mine goes through his. It literally negates his, right? Now, Kai has another projectile. This one. That is a multi-hitting projectile. That's one of his main Okis, right? So, let's say he does his, and I do my multi-hit, right? My multi-hit will go through his, right? Granted, his multi-hit projectile will stop mine, right? After the first hit. They'll clash the first hit. Well, I didn't do it correctly there, but they'll clash the first hit, and then his will beat mine, right? But if he does my multi-hit versus, well, okay, his multi-hit versus mine, well, we have to be a little further, because his Leo's multi. Okay, game, thanks for making me look dumb. So, can I not charge? Is that just not a thing? Okay, thank you. So, Leo's projectiles take a little bit of time to start up, especially his multi-hit. But once he throws out his multi-hit projectile, this literally beats like every other projectile in the game. I think it may lose to well, it gets canceled out by another Leo player, because if you throw out the same move, then they're going to have the same effect on each other, and they'll just nullify each other. And I think Kum Hae Hyun, I think he may be able to beat it, because all his projectiles are multi-hit. I don't know, it's been a while since I've played Kum. Like, they basically have the same one, but let's set him to do this, like that. Alright. Yeah, mine beats his, right? And Kum has a multi-hit, a super, yeah, he has this, right? Kum has this, right? So that is probably going to beat me, right? If he does it again. Like that, right? So let's stand back here. He does it. Yeah, see, that beats my projectile, but he's spending 50 meter for that. So I don't care about that, right? Anyway, so you have a really, really strong projectile. And in the corner, this multi-hit projectile is also your Okizemi setup, which is really good. Leo also hits really hard. So that's great, because you could get like big combos. Well, I haven't done that one particularly in a while. I go for the easy one, just so I don't drop it online. And then boom. Now right here, In this situation, you have a couple of options. You can press punch to get them if they jump. S will also get them if they jump, but I think it kind of is character specific which one you want to do. But P is your anti-air in this situation. S is like, hey, are you pressing buttons? Let me poke you. Let me see what you're doing. H is your overhead. K is your low. And then you have dust, right? Dust is a counter. So let's set the computer to soul. Let's say I knock down soul, right? Now I know I'm throwing on a whole lot, going in and out of basics into strategy. I'm sorry, this could be a lot more organized, but just I don't have anything written down. I wasn't expecting to play any Leo today. But basically, let's say this is your most common situation where you're gonna get Oki, right? Right here. So I did kick, close slash, heavy slash, quarter circle forward slash or 236S, quarter circle forward heavy slash or 236 HS, and this quarter circles, if you're close enough, 236 HS or quarter circle forward heavy slash will cross up, right? So that's something you want to keep in mind. If you're like max distance, it won't. Oh, you know the BNBs? Oh, well, no point in me explaining that, right? But so like this, right? After you do your main BNB, you do heavy slash immediately, right? This is your most basic Oki right here. Now, after your most basic Oki, your opponent has two options, right? They can block. They can jump. Well, I don't know why I'm recording, but they can block either high or low, depending on which one you do. The low is unforeseeable, but the overhead is. So at mid to high level, people will do this and then this. They'll chicken block. So they'll just go low and then go high. And if they, what's up, anime? They'll go low, then high, then low again. So what this does is if you do the low, then they'll block it, and then they'll be able to block your combo. If you go overhead, since the overhead is slower, it's basically an OS, right? I'm not explaining this the best way, but basically, if they do stuff like this at mid level, they'll block both things. So that's they can block. That's the main thing I was trying to say, right? In this situation, if you're doing the setup correctly, they should not be able to grab you, right? So that's not an option for them. 1 second. So in this situation, they should not be able to grab before you press buttons. They have to guess, not guess, but they can kind of react to the overhead, but that's something you could do, right? They can also try and jump away. So, but that generally gets beaten by slash. Safe DP setups. Okay, so that's what I was going to go into next, right? So let's say you put them in this situation right here, right? And you're like, okay, he's going to DP. So dust is a counter. So basically, if they wake up DP and you press counter on their wake up, if they press buttons or they do counter, they're getting hit by this, right? So let's say just give it a little bit of time, then right, okay, that's probably too much, but yeah, that was too much time. We'll just record it to DP. Alright. See, if he DPs, then you can counter it, right? And of course, I could have timed that better as far as DP is concerned, but the principle still applies. Well, that's because I did counter. But, like, if you do anything other than attack, then they can grab you, right? If you cross up, right? Because that's also an option you have after okay, you could cross up and then start doing stuff like this, right? If you do that, then they can grab you, right? So if you start doing anything other than immediate attack, they can grab you. But if you're like, okay, this guy is going to DP me, or this guy is going to wake up with buttons, counter, it beats them, right? And then you get, let's just record Soul to DP. Well, I already recorded him, let's just have him DP. I don't know why it's making me move, but we'll try that again. I don't know why it's this. Okay, this is working weird. Dash at him, and I'm sure you already know the combo. And if you don't, then it teaches you in the combo tutorials. You're welcome to talk, Soy. I always add input. If I say anything incorrect, call me out on it. Oh, cool. But basically, like, you can, for the most part, you could do, you could just backdash after the counter, slash, heavy slash, put them on the ground, and then you can kind of do what you want from there. So that's how you handle someone who does DP, right? Now, in a block string, this is pretty scrubby, because there are definitely ways to beat it. But let's say you're in a block string, right? Like this, right? You can stop here, right? So you can go like this, stop here. Now your opponent has to guess what you're going to do, and you have to guess what your opponent's going to do, right? So you have to really take a risk here. It's a high risk, high reward type of situation. Let's say your opponent wants to DP, right? Or they want to start mashing buttons or stuff like that. Once they realize you stopped here, you can counter. And there's nothing wrong with double countering in this situation, right? I've caught like good players by double countering. There isn't anything wrong with doing stuff like that. Don't mash it after the second counter. It's actually probably better to do counter than slash, but double counter works just fine. Don't worry about it. Now, once you're here, what's plus and what isn't? So, frame data in this game is kind of iffy, right? Because of mechanics like just blocking or perfect blocking, because of barrier blocking, and because of, you can chain moves together, right? So, because of things like that, let's just send let me just explain it real quick. So instant blocking, if I'm not mistaken, takes 1 frame away from block stun, right? So like if I throw out this move and my opponent instant blocks it, they have 1 less frame of block stun. Correct me if I'm wrong, Soy. If they barrier or faultless defense, then they have an additional 2 frames, if I'm not mistaken. They have an additional 2 frames of block stun, but they push me away from them, right? Which is a good thing, and so you kind of have to mix up, right? So frame data is kind of dependent on how your opponent blocks, right? And if you're only at high level, everybody's trying to instant block. Everybody's going to try an instant block because they don't want to sit there and, deal with all that block stun. Because there are characters that can definitely abuse that if it wasn't. Is quarter circle /+ No, I don't believe it is. I think this is like -2 or something. It's not punishable, 236S with Leo. Yeah, the first hit of Rekka. It's -8. I've never been punished for this. Okay, so you heard it from Soy. This move is -8. On if they just block it, they're -9, right? So that's definitely something you can punish them for. So that I don't know what it is, because I didn't know that. I thought it would be like -2, -3. Reason why is because I've been able to do stuff like this, right? And it works. Why it works, not sure, but it works. Like that. It's probably because people are expecting the other hit of Rekka, so you can kind of sneak another move in while they're expecting something else. But this move is this move's not plus. Also, something to keep in mind is that frame data, while it's always good to know frame data, but frame data is not the most important thing in this game, right? There are so many more aspects of the game that can that will affect how well you play other than frame data, especially when you can chain moves, right? When, for example, let's say this move was -1 billion. This move right here, it's -1 billion, right? It doesn't matter because I could just do that, right? Doesn't matter if 5k is -1 billion on block. I can chain it into 5s, right? So that frame data, for the most part, it's not irrelevant. It's always good to have more knowledge in the situation, know what you can punish and what you can't. But frame data is not the most important thing. It's not what's gonna save you. It's not what's gonna help you win more games. That's not a thing. All right. So, that's Leo is a really straightforward character. He's really straightforward. He's kind of Unga, if that makes sense. You throw a projectile around. The only challenge with Leo really is running, getting in, right? Because he doesn't really have a run. You can wave dash, not really wave dash, but you can basically you can cancel your dash and then start running again. And if you get, I've never really got good at it, but if you get good at it, then that can be an option for getting in. But it's not amazing from my knowledge. So for the most part, you're kind of gonna throw in your multi-hit projectile, do something like that, right? That's how you're gonna get in a lot of the time. Once you're in, your goal is to end in knockdown, because Leo has a very strong Oki game, right? You can mix them up low. Overhead is reactable, but it's still fast enough to where it will catch players, even good ones, so it doesn't hurt to throw this out. You know, you just think about what your opponent's going to do on wake up, right? So things like that. Well, I didn't do it correctly, but what's my opponent going to do on wake up, right? That's something you want to keep in mind, right? In the corner, because you don't really cross up, you're going to want to do something like this, right? And then you're going to want to YRC that. Well, I did it incorrectly. Well, again, I actually cannot do anything correctly on stream. I don't know if that was ever stated as a fact, but it's a scientific fact proven by Einstein's theory of relativity. So like that, right? So you can go in, you throw out the projectile. Well, you gotta wait for the projectile to actually come out. Wait for the projectile to actually come out. Y or C, you can go overhead, you can go low. Something really dirty about this is that the projectile will kind of hide what you're doing, especially if you Y or C, right? Why it does that? But it's kind of hard to see what Leo's doing. So that makes it even more of a guess when you see something like that. Things like that. Pretty interesting, right? But other than that, Leo's a very straightforward character. He doesn't have anything. He's not crazy difficult. He doesn't have any weird inputs that you're gonna have to practice to be good with him. He doesn't have any really special gimmicks aside from back turn stance. And in back turn stance, everything's really just a read. It's really just, okay, what's my opponent gonna do? What's my counter to that? Let me do that. Right? Sometimes you're going to get the right read, sometimes you're going to get the wrong read. When you get the right read, you're going to feel like a god. When you get the wrong read, you're going to feel like an idiot. That's just how the character works. But other than that, Leo's a pretty straightforward character. The best way to learn Leo is by playing him. That's my best advice I could give anybody trying to play Leo. Play him. Get used to his inputs, learn his combos. And then just get used to thinking about your opponent. What is your opponent going to do? What are your opponent's options in this situation, right? For example, let's say you get your character in a your opponent in an Oki situation, right? And you counter. Well, and that's great and all. That's an awesome option. But let's say your character is fighting, you're fighting a Potemkin. Now, Potemkin doesn't really have a wake-up. His only legitimate wake-up option is a grab. Right? So, let's see. What is the input for his... Hello? Not really. Well, frame data isn't really all that important from what I'm understanding. Like, cause like when you can do things like when moves chain into each other and all of that other stuff, things like that are kind of just like whatever. Alright, so I don't know the input for Potemkin's grab. I don't know what it is. But Potemkin... half circle forward P. Huh. There you go. Wow, his grab is so much easier than Taker's. I'm gonna play Potemkin just because. It's because you're on stick, right? I'm on D-pad. I know. You're playing on the joystick on the controller. Right? But basically, right? So Potemkin's only real wake-up option, like, I don't even know if he has a grab in this. Does he? Exactly, right? The closest thing he has to that is like backdash grab. Right? He doesn't really have anything. So, let's say that you're playing Leo. Stream. Let's say you're playing Leo. And you do this, right? Oki setup, right? Okay, my opponent's gonna wake up. Taker doesn't have a wake up. So you doing counter in his face is saying, hey, grab me. You see that damage? That's ridiculous. Well, in that situation, right? But I'm just saying, like, for example, you gotta what the lesson I'm trying to teach is you gotta consider your opponent's options, right? If you want, like, for example, on Kai, right? On Kai, if you are doing your Oki setup and then you read he's going to DP, there's nothing wrong with countering. Of course, there's a better way to do it. What tier is Leo exactly? He's low tier. He's low tier. Bottom tier, I don't think so, but he's low tier. Which makes it even cooler how he made it Leo player was second place at Evo. Which of course he lost to a Johnny player, but it was he made it second player. Yeah, Tomo lost to Omito in grand finals. Tomo or Omito? Yeah. I've been watching Tomo versus it's either Tomo versus Haken or Tomo versus. Well, that's because your opponent can grab you at a cross up, and at high level cross up's reactable. Johnny too godly? Yeah, pretty much. I don't like Johnny. Like Johnny's a cool looking character. He's an awesome looking character. Johnny is just kind of, he's a hard, not a hard character. He's a hard character to beat when your opponent knows what they're doing. Right? 1 second. I don't know if that's my emails or someone else's. 1 second. Let me check this. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, so basically, of course there is a better way to deal with stuff. But let's say you put Kai in an Ogi situation like that and you counter, because you read he's going to wake up. That's a legitimate option, right? That's something you can do. But there's no point in making that read when you're fighting a character with no wake up, right? So you really gotta understand your opponent's character. Gotta understand their options to your setups and to the things you can do and how you can beat their options. Like, for example, let's say, right, what Potemkin does have is it core circle backslash? I think it is. Core circle forward? No. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to, what's his projectile counter? Yeah, the flick. Okay, so Potemkin has this thing right here, right? So let's set him to do it. Well, you see that? Well, it's kind of hard to see, but basically Potemkin can flick projectiles back at you, right? See that? I got hit by that. Of course, it's probably easier to dodge that, but Potemkin players, from what I've seen, like to throw that out a lot. So throwing, it's also an anti-air, that's true, but it basically beats pretty much every projectile in the game, right? So because of that, throwing out projectiles on a Potemkin is not always the best thing to do, right? So you really got to understand, I know I keep saying this over and over again, but you got to understand your opponent's options. You got to understand your options to beat their options to your options. I know I'm explaining that very confusingly. Basically, in this game, in every situation there is something you can do. In every single situation. It may be hard to do it, but in every single situation there is something that every character can do, right? Now, in that situation, especially with Leo, you have to understand what your opponent's options are in any given situation. Situations you put them in and situations that they put you in. And so you have to consider their options and what are your options to their options, right? So that's why Leo is kind of lower tier, because he is kind of dependent on what his opponent's doing, right? He has to make big reads, big risks in order to get anywhere, unless your opponent's dumb, right? If your opponent's bad, then it's a different story. But to get anywhere, Leo has to make a lot of big risks, right? He has to make big risks. He has to make reads about what his opponent is going to do. If you get the right read, then you are really, really strong. But if you get the wrong read, you're getting punished pretty hard for it. So that's Leo's basic game plan. Get in, force your opponent into situations, read their options after the situation you've put them in, and then loop it back into itself until they die, right? Or until you kill them. That's like people die, as if people don't die when you kill them, right? But yeah, that's Leo. Leo is not a hard character. It's really just playing the game, learning matchups, and learning how you can, everything you can do in any given situation. Be it situations you force on your opponent or your opponent forces on you. Yeah, he's one of the easiest characters in the game. I'd say he is actually the easiest. I mean, Raven got nerfed, right? So now you actually have to think with Raven. See, no, he's very easy, right? Raven is kind of like, I'm gonna do what I want and I'm gonna see how you react to it, right? Because he has this dash, right? And that dash, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. You can do a whole bunch of other overheads, or you can, at any point in time, drop down and go for a low. And then after the low, you do this. Now, beforehand, the orb used to go horizontally in front of you. Oh yeah, so you know about Raven. Raven was really easy. Now you actually have to think, because your opponent can just duck under your setup, right? They can duck, they can backdash, they can wake up, they can basically, this is kind of useless now. So now Raven players have to do this a whole lot. Needle YRC into dash, right? So that's Raven, right? Raven used to be retarded. Now, that's pretty much it as far as those characters are concerned. I kind of want to play Baiken. Well, what does my comment say on the video? Oh yeah, I said because you whooped that guy, right? So I was like, because rape is cool. Yeah, I know, right? That's weird, right? Because you like almost double perfected that dude, just bodied him. It's hard to do the dust loop on Potemkin because he's really big. And characters like Zato or normal characters, no, I'm doing Baiken's dust loop. That's something I love about Baiken, her damage. She's kind of like a rather slow glass cannon, but she does a whole lot of damage. Like soul counter hits 6H type damage. Well, I actually can't do combos. I suck. Yep, it's physically impossible for me to do a combo. Because your boy Joker sucks. Don't worry. I will get this combo tomorrow when I'm not streaming. Because I'm not jumping. Don't worry, I'm not jumping. Definitely not jumping. Alright. I'll get that later. And it's gonna piss me off that I can't do it on stream. On to the onlines. Lobby. Is anyone awake in the JP server? I doubt it. Yeah. Kinda wanna see if I can do anything in Japan though. I was able to beat a guy once in Japan. I was almost cool. I don't even know. I forget. It was like, I got bodied by the Soul player. I think he played Bedman. Pretty sure he played Bedman. I was in the beginner server. I'm going to the normal server now. They're the only lobbies that are active. Is there anywhere that's active? America doesn't have anyone there. Yep, you see that? It's a whole lot of people getting bodied right there. Well, I can't. I forgot I changed my L stick because it was glitching out, and now it's making my camera not work. Make a Guilty Gear and bring the old characters. I feel like literally every game needs to make an ultimate version like Smash Bros did. Make Street Fighter Ultimate. Make Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate. No, wait. Yeah, Ultimate, because Infinite sucked. Right? Make freaking, Guilty Gear Ultimate. Blazblue Ultimate. I want Holy Order Soul. God damn, that sounds busted. Watch some Prime Leo gameplay and watch me get bodied. See, lots of getting bodied right now. Stop it. You're bodying me. And that's an unblockable. I forgot to mention that. I just want it out of the corner. Stop that. No, stop. You're beating me. This is not allowed on stream. And I tried to grab, but I guess I wasn't close enough. Oh. How active is that kick? Whiff punish. Because projectiles are wake-ups now. My burst shall never be baited. It's just not a thing that happened. You ain't never bait my burst. I didn't burst the first round. Lies and blasphemy. Need I remind you of how I baited your burst with Susano? I baited your Tager's burst and you got bodied. And you were free. Then I went AFK for like an hour. But you were freed up. Ultra freed up. I baited your burst. I did a full combo. And then I just stopped playing. And then you did 0 burst baits that game because I was AFK. I feel like I could have grabbed there. 0 burst baits. You ain't skilled enough for that. Learn to bait burst, Soy. You're not good enough. You're not on my level. Not quite yet. Not quite there. See? You're not quite there, Soy. Exactly. That was all intentional. I did that all on purpose because I wanted you to feel good about yourself so that you didn't feel like you're constantly getting bodied by me. You know, I'm such a nice friend. I did that very much on purpose because I'm just that good and you can't bait a single burst. Exactly. My bursts are too unpredictable for you. It was an attempt at a wild throw. And again, like, you're free. I simply let you win because I'm kind and I don't want my streams to be full of me winning because, you know, then people think I'm too good and then they don't want to play me. You know, I have to make myself seem approachable and I have to let people know that they can fight me. You know, I'm not so godly good that, you know, people are scared to fight me, right? So I make, yeah, his Leo's pretty sick. Leo's his main. So I basically, you know, make people feel comfortable to play me by allowing you to win, even though you're not that great at the game, you know? Well, I did not mean to do that, but... How dare you grab me, you insolent fool. Know my name. Feel my pain. Listen, bro, I'm too good. I'm too good for you. I simply let you do that setup. You see, what he did there was yeah, exactly. Which I think is an awesome thing. Exactly. Well, I grabbed. Yeah, my dust loop is actually god tier. It's so good that the game literally does not read how good it is, so it just drops it. It's like, yeah, I don't understand the inputs being given to me right now, so. You see this waking up scrub? He just loves waking up and stuff. Word, I read backdash, right? I'm like, okay, he's gonna read. See, this is the level of Guilty Gear that you must play at on a consistent basis. Like, I read that he was going to bait my DP, but I had the wrong read as far as how he was gonna bait it. I'm like, okay, so what he's gonna do is he's gonna backdash to bait my DP. So I'm gonna run up and do K, right? Run up K and then do my combo. and put him in the corner because I had meter to wire to RC, right? So, however, what he did instead was he did counter PRC. And because he PRC'd and I did not expect that, I got. Simple, right? Even though I didn't really get got, I let him do that. I actually read that he would do that, but I pretended I didn't read it. Because I'm just that kind loving to other people. See, look at these next level reads. Like, I knew that he was like, what the fuck are you doing? He had no clue about my next level godlike play right here. Like, who would have ever guessed that I would do that, right? Exactly, right? He does that, and that was not a burst bait. Okay, you couldn't possibly bait my burst. And why is it lagging? I have no clue. But see, I let him do all of that, right? And he's not gonna make this, right? You over there, why are you still over here? Stop that. And see, what I'm doing right now, what I'm failing to do is contest him in neutral. You see that next level read? Look at my reads, boy. Look at my reads. You see how godlike that read was? I read that he would jump, right? I read that he would jump. It didn't work out. Exactly, scrub. Out of my way, filthy heathen. You are not on my level. Yes, I'm letting you out the corner because it's a mind game. Okay, it's a mind game that you will not be able to comprehend with your puny, you know, non-galaxy brain Leo playing. Okay, you see that? Next level tech. You see that? Next level tech. You see that? You see that? See, look, this is a mind game. This is a mind game. He's never gonna read what I'm gonna do next. He's never gonna read it. He's never gonna read it. Yes, I put myself on the corner on purpose. Yes, I just jumped out. No, that was a misinput there, but... And yes, I let him chip me out on purpose, right? Because I just wanted to let him know that he could never beat me by mixing me up, right? Mind games. This is next level soul set play. This is set play. It's all part of my mix-up game. See, Soul has a really next level mix-up mind game that not really any other character can match, to be honest. Don't you agree, Soy? Yep, my Soul is it's too good, right? It's actually too good, right? I never told y'all, but I actually bodied Hawken. And Nakio Soul is a little bit free. Kizzy K, he got opened up by my god tier Leo. You see those? Okay, I should have just safe jumped. I didn't think you were that dumb. Boy, you think you're on my level? Be gone, Thought. Hold on, wait, Thought. Hold on, wait. Thought. Hold on, wait. Wait, stop. Stop. Hold on, wait. Thought. Hold on, wait. Thought. Mind games. Mind games. See, I let him do that. It was all part of my master Keikaku. I am part of Kami's Keikaku. Reads. Hold on, wait. Hold up, stop. Wait, no. Reads. Hold on, wait, stop. No. Stop. 1 second, 1 second, back to the reads. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, stop, nope. Exactly, scrub. Reads. 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 See, right there. Those are you. If as y'all can see, my stellar godlike raids are so godlike. I did mess up a little bit. I tried to wild throw, but did it a little bit late. I had a god tier setup that I could have done, but it was too god tier for him. He never would have been able to do anything about it. So I just chose to be too good. I just let him win. A little bit. A little bit of letting him win. Now watch this next level read. Watch it. It's too godlike. Bop. Bop. You see that read? It was all a setup from the beginning. I knew it. See that? That was a read. You see that? You see this? That's a read. My reads... Listen. Guilty Gear is all about reads. Exactly. See, my reads, they're too good. See, that punish was all a part of my Keikaku. You see, all this is all according to plan. The plan is going according to plan. You obvious, son. Get gooder. You obvious, son. See, look. It's too easy for me to read. I'm just too good. Look, all part of my Keikaku. And... damn, I've been streaming for a while. What time is it? Oh, shit. Okay. So I actually have to go after this match. I'm supposed to go meet my driving instructor. Kami level Keikakus. Kami level Keikakus. You're not on my level, kid. Get on my level, kid. That was not what I did. Kami level Keikakus. You see my get out the corner strat? Bop. Of course there was a better combo I could have done there. But Kami level Keikakus. Kami level Keikakus. Kami level Keikakus. Okay, listen, check it. That's projectile invincible? Oh. Would you believe me if I legitimately read that, but I thought my gunflame would beat it, because I didn't know that was projectile invincible? No, I'm serious. I did read that. I just didn't know that's projectile invincible. Hey, listen. It's all a part of my Kami level Keikakus. It's a part of my mix-up. However, I actually have to go meet my driving instructor in a little bit, because, gonna go. Your boy finna start driving so he can go to locals and stuff. Finna become next level god tier. I'm actually thinking... honestly, I think I might have to start the scene for Guilty Gear or Blazblue, because I saw Marvel 3... Smash Bros, which is good for me, and a couple other stuff, but no Guilty Gear. So your boy gotta save the bay, the city, and your boy's gotta start this Guilty Gear scene so that everybody can know the great godliness that is Guilty Gear and the great godliness that is Blazblue. So ending the stream here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I don't care whether y'all like and comment, but subscribe. I like subscriptions. Those are cool. I'm probably gonna stream Blazblue next time if I don't suck at Guilty Gear. Also, soy. Let's be real here. My reads were so next level godlike that you couldn't comprehend. You couldn't fathom my mind. Yes, absolutely. Right? So, peace out, stream.